Shares of Merck and Schering-Plough moving in opposite directions. To be expected, Merck, $41 billion takeover of Schering-Plough. So Merck goes down, Schering goes up. But does this deal make sense? And what's next for M&A in that space? Catherine Arnold is senior pharma analyst at Credit Suisse. Faber joins us. Huckman joins us. Full house here. Start with Catherine.
Yes.
Deal makes sense?
Makes a lot of strategic sense. Merck had a big problem it had to solve. Schering is an attractive asset.
But Catherine, this is Mike Huckman. Here's what I don't get. There's at least 2 analyst notes that I've got so far that say J&J could come in here and make a play for Schering-Plough. Your colleague, Dr. Tim Anderson at Bernstein, says could J&J come in and bid for SGP? The fit between the two companies is as good as, if not better, than the fit between Schering-Plough and Merck. What do you think?
Well, part of the answer to my question about does this make sense was that Schering is such an attractive asset. So I can't disagree with him. I have to say that J&J and Schering could also have complement. Merck obviously chose to act here today, and that's the deal we're evaluating. But I have to say that J&J's complement with Schering would also be a noteworthy one.
Wouldn't one, hey, it's David Faber to both of you, I mean, wouldn't one assume that J&J has considered this deal for some time? It's not as though we haven't been aware in some ways that Schering was a potential prey in the consolidation that is finally underway in big cap pharma. I know they kept this quiet, but, you know, and that can always change in terms of actually seeing the deal. But wouldn't we expect that J&J would have already considered this in the past?
You know, all of these companies need to be looking at combinations that make sense. We've known consolidation is coming for some time. I'm sure that the executive teams have been looking. I'm sure J&J including in that. You know, the transaction has just now been announced, so it essentially brings the last chance for them to more seriously look at it. But I would be shocked if they hadn't been looking at it. The fact that they haven't acted doesn't necessarily mean they aren't interested.
No, it doesn't. Let me just give our viewers a couple of quick heads up. I mean, these two companies have been speaking till the end. They began speaking late last year. By the way, Merck, I'm told, looked hard at the biotech side originally, Mike, and then chose not to play there, feeling that this was a much better opportunity, especially because Clark has undertaken all of these Six Sigma initiatives that he feels now they have the operations in the right place where they can bring a Schering in and really create a lot of efficiencies. And I guess I know you well know, both of you, that they're taking, what, phase 3 drugs up to double where they were, I guess, right?
Yeah, but Catherine, here's what I don't get, is that, you know, you guys, and by you guys, I mean the analysts have been saying, as you just pointed out, for a long time now, that consolidation in this sector is inevitable, but the market is clearly saying we hate it. You know, look at what's happened to Pfizer and Wyeth, and then now you've got Merck this morning at, what, a 14-year low. So please explain this major market contradiction going on here.
Well, you know, the market tells the truths for the moment. That doesn't mean that over time it can't adopt a more positive view of what the outcome will be of a Pfizer-Wyeth deal and a Merck-Schering-Plough deal. So I think that it's important for us to do what we do best, which is look at the fundamentals and say, what's the difference in earnings outlook, what's the difference in cash flow, and if that's reasonable analysis, then that should be reasonably rewarded, even if it's not happening on the announcement.
So is there a chance J&J comes in?
I think there is.
And do you expect other big deals? Pfizer, Wyeth, what, $63 billion? This one, $41 billion. Are we going to have another deal announced of similar size? You've got Bristol out there and Glaxo, some other big names.
Well, the challenges in the sector is what has been the key point in our view, that consolidation will happen. There's too much capacity in the R&D, too much capacity in the commercial organizations to service a declining branded contribution to total prescriptions. So I think that there are other companies that have challenged outlooks that will either be the acquirer or the target. You know, in our space, Bristol and Lilly are two companies that need to solve their problems for the patent cliffs that are in the 2012 forward period.
But, Aaron, you should know that every CEO that I've interviewed post the Pfizer-Wyeth deal has said, we're not interested. We do not want to do a mega deal. That doesn't mean that they might not get taken out, but pretty much nearly all of them are saying, we don't want to do this.
Okay, got to leave it there. Thank you very much, Catherine.
Thank you.
David and Mike.